Hey my friends, welcome. Today we're going to be creating some seriously adorable snowman DIYs on a teeny tiny little budget. Let's get started. Y'all, this is just such a fun and easy little project to make. I can't wait for you to see the final result. I'm going to be using this large canister from the Dollar Tree and some polyacrylic, and this is from Lowe's. And I've put some of the polyacrylic in this little squeeze bottle just to make it a little easier to handle. And I'm just going to spray some into the inside of the canister, and then I'm just going to rotate the canister to cover the inside of it with this polyacrylic. If you've ever created a glitter ornament, it's basically the same idea, just on a larger scale. You just want to keep turning and turning until you've coated the inside of your container. And if you need to, like I said, just add a little bit more as you go. You don't want to get too much in there because it could slosh out on you. I forgot my gloves, but you really do want to be careful and not get this stuff on your hands. Now, as I mentioned, this container is from Dollar Tree, but it's been in my stash 2 or 3 years, so I don't know if they still have these large ones like this. I do know that they have the little bit smaller ones. I just saw those on a recent trip to my local Dollar Tree. Once I have the inside of the container coated, I'm just going to turn it upside down into the styrofoam bowl and let the excess polyacrylic drain out for about 10 minutes. Next, we're going to add the glitter, and you do want to do this while the polyacrylic is still wet, or your glitter won't adhere to the inside of the canister. And as soon as you add the glitter, you do want to start rotating the canister so that the glitter doesn't get all clumpy and stay in one spot. Again, you just want to keep rotating and rotating, and the glitter will slowly start to coat the inside of your container. Again, if you've ever made a glitter ornament, it's the exact same concept, just with a bigger container. You're just going to keep rotating, adding in glitter as needed. I did not measure because I really didn't know how much I was going to need, and really I didn't have much waste if you're worried about that. I do recycle my glitter from projects like this, but I only use it for other glitter projects like this. And I just pop that lid on there, give it a good little shake to coat the front of the container, and then I'm going to turn it upside down and let the excess glitter drain out just like I did the polyacrylic. But as you can see, there wasn't much glitter left over. I let the canister dry a couple of hours before adding in these little fairy lights. They're called corkscrew lights, and they're from Amazon. I had to make a little bit of adjustment on what I was going to use to create the snowman face. The first one I was going to use is so adorable, but it was way too big. It was all one piece. So I pulled out my scarecrow faces and smaller snowman faces, and I'm just going to use a mixture. You'll see here on the screen in just a moment what I'm doing. I'm using the eyes from the scarecrow, and the nose, and then the mouth from the smaller snowman faces. Now all of these are stickers, and they are from Amazon. I'll have all of them linked down below in my Amazon store. It'll be in the description box. These stickers are so easy to work with. If you need to make any adjustments, you just carefully lift them up and you can reposition. I had to do the eye as you saw, and the mouth from the snowman is the exact same way. If you need to make any adjustments, just gently lift it up and reposition it. Just smooth it down, and it sticks very, very well. I wanted the mouth to be just a tad bit bigger, so I did cut off one little circle from another mouth, and then just used my tweezers and popped it into place, smoothed it down, and y'all, to me it works perfect. You'll have to tell me. Now we're going to add his little hat, and this hat is from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to stuff some tissue paper into the top of the hat just to make it stand up just a little bit so it won't collapse down onto the top of the canister. And I'm just going to put it right over the lid of the canister, and then I'll just work with it a little bit and pull it down. And when I get it exactly like I want it, I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue around here and there up under the hat just to hold it in place. My friends, if you're new here, hi, I'm Gwen. Welcome to At Home with Gigi. If you're returning, as always, welcome back. So happy to have you, and thank you for always returning and supporting my channel. It is much appreciated. And I'm just going to work with the top of his hat just a little bit, using a little bit of hot glue again here or there until I get it just so. And then I'm also going to tuck that corkscrew end of the lights into the cuff of his hat out of the way so you won't see it. Oh my goodness, y'all, I think this might be one of my favorite projects I have ever made. He is just absolutely adorable, at least in my eyes. I cannot get over this sweet little face, but let me know what you think. We're going to make one of the cutest little snowmen you have ever seen using leftover pumpkins from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to go ahead and start by removing the stem and the outer covering from this smallest pumpkin, and then we'll move on to the next step. I'm going to wrap the pumpkin in this white cloth from Dollar Tree. You can find it in their automotive section. I've cut it down quite a bit to make it fit this little small pumpkin, and because the hole is kind of small on the top of the pumpkin and this fabric's a little bulky, I'm just using this end of the marker to help push that fabric down into that opening pretty tightly. And just want to keep working your way around the pumpkin. You'll pull the fabric, push it down with the marker until you have all the fabric pushed down inside, just like what you see right here on the screen. If you need to, use just a little bit of hot glue to help that last little piece stay in place. I repeated the exact same process for the larger pumpkin. I just pulled that stem out and cut a hole in the top of it and just repeated pushing the fabric in there. And now we're going to stack them on top of each other. As you can see, I'm putting a good amount of hot glue on top of that larger pumpkin. And I'm just going to line up the smaller one as best I can and just push it down until that glue starts to set up and dry. And then for his head, we're going to use one of these gorgeous little ornaments from the Dollar Tree. These are so cute. I just love it. His little sweet smiling face. Again, just lining it up as best I can directly on top of the smaller pumpkin. And I'm just going to hold it in place again until that glue has time to set up. Next, we're going to make him a scarf out of ribbon from Hobby Lobby that matches his little hat. And I'm just using 2 little black pom-poms for his buttons. And we are done, y'all. It was so very simple and easy to do, and I think he is just the perfect little Frosty. I don't know about y'all, but that little smile, oh my goodness, it just gets me. It's just the sweetest little smile on a snowman, and I think he is just absolutely adorable. For our next project, I'm going to use foam board to create a sweet little snowman. I've already cut out 2 circles. The larger circle is about 5 inches and the smaller circle is about 3. And then I'm going to cover them very generously with this lightweight spackling. I love this stuff. It's such a bright white. And I believe it's called DAP. If it's a different brand, I'll put it here on the screen for you. But I pick it up at my local Walmart, Lowe's, or you can even order it from Amazon. And once I've finished adding the spackling, I'm going to use the tip of my finger and just create some texture on each of the pieces. We're going to make a soft, snowy background for our snowman. We're going to use one of those large canvases from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cover it with more of the spackling. Then I'm going to take the back of my spatula and just drag it through the spackling. I'm going to keep the top part of the canvas a little bit smoother since that's going to be the sky. And then I'm going to add a little more texture down at the bottom because I want it to look like our little snowman is sitting in soft, fluffy snowdrifts. And then I'll just sprinkle each of the pieces with some of this fine glitter and I'll set it aside for about 24 hours to let it completely dry. To create the beautiful blue sky that I want for this canvas, I'm mixing together Apple Barrel's white and Folk Art's Bluebell and just getting a really pretty bright blue, and then I'm just going to slowly start to build that up at the top of the canvas. I'm trying not to get too heavy-handed, which I did in some areas, but that's okay. I just used some of the white and lightly brushed over it and tone it back a little bit. It's still a little darker in some areas, but I'm okay with that because it made the texture of the canvas kind of pop out, and because later I did go back and add some more white, it made it look a little bit like clouds, or at least I hope it does. And then I mixed together some of the color Cloudless from Apple Barrel. It's the really light blue on the plate, and with some more white, and just lightly brush that over the snow to make some of that texture really pop. We're going to create a cute little hat for our snowman. This hat came from the Dollar Tree. You can get them in a pack of 5 or 6. I got this during Mardi Gras season. I'm just cutting it in half, and then I'm going to give it a coat of Waverly's chalk paint in the color ink. Next, we're going to add some embellishments to our sweet little hat, and I'm going to wrap this piece of ribbon, and it's just ribbon from the Dollar Tree, around the brim of the hat. Now, if you're going to use hot glue, you do want to use it sparingly, or use a different type of glue that sets up really quickly, because this is very thin plastic that this hat is made of, and it will melt your hat if you're not careful. We're going to add a few more embellishments to the hat, some of these little cute leaves, and then in the center of that I'm going to add this little tiny pine cone, and then on either side of the pine cone we're going to add some of these sweet little berries. And y'all, all of this I pulled from my stash. It was left over from other projects, and all of it came from the Dollar Tree. To make it easier to attach the snowman to the canvas, I am going to glue the two rounds together just using hot glue and a large popsicle stick. I'll give that a couple of minutes to set up, and then I'm going to go ahead also and add his scarf before we attach him to the canvas. And I'm just using ribbon that complements the ribbon that's on his hat, and once I get it exactly like I want it, I'll glue it into place. And then I'm also going to add a silver bell. Now I do change this out in just a bit for a pine cone. I just thought the pine cone went better with the whole project. Then to attach him to the canvas, I'm going to use a pretty generous amount of hot glue, center him up as best I can. I am pressing down, but I'm trying to do it gently because I don't want to flatten out the texture that I've created on the snowman. I used 4 half beads from Amazon for his eyes and the 2 buttons, and gave them each a coat of Waverly's chalk paint in the color ink. And for his nose, we're using a little piece of the orange clay you can get at the Dollar Tree. I just pinched a little piece off, kind of rolled it between my palms, and then just kind of twisted and shaped it into a form of a little tiny carrot. And then I'm just going to use hot glue to attach all of the pieces, but of course you can use whatever glue that you prefer. We're going to use a little bit of hot glue to attach his hat and put it at a little bit of an angle to give him a little character. Quick funny story here: when I left the room, my kitty jumped on the table and ate his nose, so I had to create a new nose. And when I did that, I decided to go ahead and create a mouth for him. Originally I planned not to add a mouth, but I'm glad I did. I think it just looks so sweet with his little crooked smile, and got that attached. And I decided I wanted to add a little bit of white paint to his hat just to make it look like it's just barely dusted with snow, and I think that was just the perfect finishing touch. And by the way, the frame is just a frame I have on hand. I picked it up at the thrift store years ago, and I just popped the canvas in there, and it is just so sweet and cute. I absolutely love him. His little jaunty hat, his little crooked smile, he is just so cute. We're going to create a really fun and easy snowman top hat using this hat from the Dollar Tree. Now, I had already spray painted it silver last year and didn't get around to using it, so I wanted to cover all that up, and Rust-Oleum's flat black primer is perfect for that. I gave it 2 coats, but really one would have worked, but I gave it a second one after letting it dry just for good measure. Y'all, I am so sorry. I did not realize I wasn't recording whenever I attached the ribbon to the hat. I just used hot glue to attach it, and I'm going to use greenery to cover it where the 2 pieces meet. And this is the perfect project to use bits and pieces that you have on hand. Y'all hear me talk about my bits and pieces? Well, this is the perfect little project to do this, especially for a small hat like this. You don't need real big pieces. And if you do have bigger pieces, you can just cut them down to fit my greenery. Some of it is from Amazon, some of it from the Dollar Tree, and some of it I have had so long I'm not sure where it came from. But I'm just cutting it down and popping it in. This glittery pieces here, it is very heavily frosted. This is from Amazon, although I don't know if they still carry it because this is really about 3 years old. I swapped out the 2 larger pine cones for 2 smaller ones and a red ornament. I just thought that that looked much better, and I do love it. But as I was filming the final reveal, I realized that they were so small they do kind of get lost in all of my greenery. I don't know, maybe I'll swap out at least the red ornament for a larger one just to make it pop a little bit. Tell me what you guys think. The white leaves that I'm tucking in on either side of the pine cones, that is from Hobby Lobby. I picked that up earlier this season whenever I created another project. I'll link that video down below for you. And this white eucalyptus is something that I have had on hand for 2 or 3 years now. I just keep recycling it from my other projects. I just love it because I have yet to find anything that's this good a quality at the Dollar Tree recently. I am going to pop in a few more pine cones here or there just to fill in any holes, and then for a little extra pop of color I'm going to add in these frosted berries, and these are from the Dollar Tree as well. And that's it, y'all. It's finished. I think it is so adorable, and it was so easy to make. I mean, literally took no time at all. Thank you so much for stopping by today and watching my video. I truly appreciate it. Drop me a snowman emoji down in the comments to let me know that you're still here. If you're new and you're not subscribed, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my channel. And guys, I have new videos every Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope to see you back here next Sunday. If you're looking for more inspiration, I have a great Christmas video right here on the screen for you to watch next. And I will see you soon. Bye.